Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. Today we'll be looking at the security challenges facing Nigeria. Given the recent development of the resignation of the service chiefs and their replacement, we'll be looking at what has happened since 2015 when President Muhammadu Buhari took office. Don't go anywhere, it promises to be a very educative episode. North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some of them sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu and I am the People's Journalist. The growing rate of insecurity across Nigeria, from Boko Haram insurgency to widespread kidnapping, banditry, and recurring cycles of deadly violence between herdsmen and farmers, has remained a recurrent discourse across the nation. In 2019, Nigeria was ranked third below Afghanistan and Iraq out of 138 countries on the Global Terrorism Index, and is said to be the 14th most fragile in the world and the 9th in Africa, according to the Fragile States Index. In the same year, the country was also ranked 148th out of 163 countries on the Global Peace Index, far below former war-ravaged countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Rwanda. Despite government's claim to the contrary, insecurity across the country appears to be spreading. The narrative that Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast have been technically defeated now appears to be propaganda, as fatalities continue to be recorded from attacks and reprisal attacks.
Starting with the northwest. In the northwest zone, Troops of Operation Hadarin Daji have continued to intensify the operations in their resolve to stamp out banditry and other sundry crimes in the zone. The gallant troops have redoubled their efforts in this regard. On 17th of September 2020, troops responding to a distress call rescued 8 kidnapped victims from suspected bandits at Fankama and Sabonlai area of Faskari local government area of Katsina State. This was as a result of actionable intelligence that bandits dressed in military camouflaged uniforms were sighted with the kidnapped victims. The troops responded swiftly and made contact with the bandits, forcing them to abandon the victims. In the same vein, troops of Operation Sahel Sanity, while on patrol at Chabas, responded to a distress call and rescued a truck driver, 11 women and children who were on their way to Batsari Market, but were kidnapped by the suspected bandits along Shimfida Gurbi Road. Within this period also, troops deployed at Forward Operations Base Dansadao arrested a suspected bandit on a motorcycle on his way to Dandala village in Dansadao, Maru local government area of Zamfara State.
First of all, let me admit to the fact that indeed there are security challenges in this country. But just as we are facing this enormous challenges in this part of the world, there also appears to be a general trend towards the globalization of crime. As a matter of fact, Nigeria is not alone in these challenges. If you track crime trends and patterns globally, and you also pay particular attention to what is happening in the ECOWAS sub-region, for example, you look at what is happening in the Sahel region, and you look at what is happening even in Northern Africa, you will see these global rise in crimes and criminality, particularly narcotic-related crimes, crimes that are rooted in violence, increasing rate of homicide, terror-related deaths. And these are not just happening in Africa. If you look at even the industrialized and the highly developed countries, you will see there's repeated incidents of mass attack and mass killings going on, even in states, even in countries like United States, where repeatedly lone wolves get out of control and engage in massive, senseless, and sometimes unexplainable killings of people.
Yes, I'm glad
in
you
schools,
mentioned
at bus stops,
okay,
in nightclubs, at shopping malls. So this trend clearly shows that just as we are enjoying the positive influence, positive impact of globalization on trade, commerce, IT, and other related fields, the world must be ready to also deal with the negative impacts of globalization. As we see, Nigeria is facing its own share of these challenges. But in our part of the world, the challenges are further exacerbated by some deep-rooted factors. Factors such as unemployment, factors such as educational, economic, and political exclusion, factors such as the widening gap between the rich and the haves and the have-not, and then the endemic impact of poverty. And so, while the law enforcement community, led principally by the police, are doing what is necessary to combat these crimes, our political leaders must also be involving and implementing social intervention programs.
In addition, other bandits continue to cause mayhem through countless kidnappings and massacres. Recent kidnappings in northwest Nigeria, southwest Nigeria, south Nigeria, outside of Boko Haram's stronghold in the northeast, paints a picture of a deteriorating security state in the country and a growing assertiveness of bandit and insurgency groups. Nigeria's military and police forces, with the backing of local self-defense groups, have repeatedly been seen to be outgunned, outnumbered, underfunded, and underpaid.
I appreciate the fact that many years back, the workforce, the strength of the force wasn't as much as it is today. Even as of today, with the numbers we have, it's still below the United Nations prescribed minimum requirement of 1 police officer to 400 persons. And so inadequate funding has impeded police performance to a very large extent. And it cuts across all spheres of police activities. If you start from training, for instance, somebody joins the police as a recruit constable or a cadet inspector, a cadet ASP, or right now they go to police academy Wudil in Kano. Training for now is not given the kind of priority it ought to get.
There are many reasons the multiple security challenges may continue to linger. From failure of government to take actions in curtailing the insecurity in the nation due to overstretched and under-equipped security forces, to failed strategies and unavailability of modern weapons.
If I am policing the city of London, for example, or I am policing the city of New York, for instance, or any of the developed countries, certain infrastructure and logistics and certain networks are placed at my disposal. So, for instance, I have access to updated and modern database, crime database, the profile of practically all members, all sectors of the population of my country. I have access to cameras that are working 24/7 and never going to sleep. I have access to so many logistics and working tools. But if I'm policing some other parts of the country where I don't have access to these modern crime fighting tools, modern data management tools, modern crime prevention tools, then my ability to track, to follow up, to arrest are not totally hampered, but they are impaired.
They must be empowered to perform their jobs. All the equipment required to perform their jobs must be there. Take, for instance, vehicular patrols and the crime patrols. How many vehicles do they have? Very few. The ones that even having that are dilapidated. No money to even fuel them.
The need for security is the basis of the social contract between citizens and its government. Therefore, government must realize that security remains a fundamental human right and entitlement for every citizen.
I'm putting the blame squarely, I'm throwing it back squarely to the people of Nigeria. Because whether you're in the National Assembly, whether you're the president, whether you're the governor, at the end of the day, you are elected by the people. And we need Nigerians to set the legislative agenda for our lawmakers. We need to have a conscious citizenry that will be able to set priorities for our lawmakers and say, hey, security is uppermost in our mind. We want you to pay very special attention to the funding of the police and other agencies.
The main thing is this. I've always said it. In Nigeria, we know all our problems, we know the solution, but the political will to implement them is lacking. At times when we have certain challenges, we bring in unnecessary sentiments. They could be political, they could be religious, they could be tribal, you know. So all of this must, and again, we must zero down on that fact that so long as we keep on having square pegs in round holes, don't expect anything good. Then again, that takes me back to a statement, this as far as the police is concerned, credited to a British Prime Minister many years back. They asked the Prime Minister, Your Excellency, how come that the London Metropolitan Police Commissioner earns more than you, the British Prime Minister? The Prime Minister said, he smiled and said, it is because he is one who provides the enabling environment for me to work, to feel safe. So one, we must prioritize security. Like I've always said, security lies the foundation of a building. If it is weak, everything put on it will crumble.
It is imperative that government put detailed plans in place and structures to ensure security policies and practices are transparent, accountable, but most importantly, implementable. You see, with the past and present security challenges Nigerians face, it is hard to predict the future. Hence, the question begs, is it time we take our own security into our own hands?
Members of the general public are requested to continue providing timely information on the activities of criminals in their various localities to the nearest military and other security agencies' location for prompt action.
Let us make the job of providing security
our first
a priority.
Exactly.
Priority. Because where we're going now, it's like we're still on the keg of gunpowder. Kidnappings, cultism, armed robbery, and all of that.
Our hope is that with the appointment of the new service chiefs, an urgent plot is drafted to curtail insurgency and banditry across the nation once and for all. That's all we have for you on today's program. Be sure to check out extended clips from this segment on our website www.tostvnetwork.com. In the meantime, here are highlights from some of our other programs broadcasting on TOS TV Network.
The Conversation, Business Report Africa, Valiant Voices, and My Heritage. The Conversation explores the depth of social issues arising across Africa, taking an analytic lens to see through the issues, the implications, and how they affect the lives of the people. Business Report Africa is your one-stop daily business magazine program that informs you with happenings in the business and trade world across Africa. Valiant Voices is a profile magazine show that focuses on sharing and highlighting Africa's young pace setters, makers, and builders. It tells the story of individuals, communities, and countries influencing change and inspiring growth in Africa through cultural and economic hallmarks in diverse scope.
What can we say is the greatest challenge of youth development all across Africa? Because if we look at Nigeria, statistics show that there's this burgeoning youth population. What does that population tend for us in the future? Is it positive or negative? How can we tackle that?
Well, it should be positive, but where we are now, I think we are actually in a precarious situation. Okay. That I don't think we have, all across Africa, not just in Nigeria, I don't think we are making enough investment in young people. Yeah. And in making the right investment means that you have to look at your education sector, you have to look at the health sector. And when I say education sector, I'm talking about giving the right kind of skill and creating the right kind of economy that speaks to those skills, in symbiotic relationship. You don't tend to see that, and so I think we need to look at it. And like I said earlier, if you unpack the youth population, because we tend to look at it as a homogeneous group, but the youth population all across Africa is not one homogeneous group. And when I say homogeneous, I'm not talking of ethnicity or religion or anything. I'm talking about the reality that a preponderant majority of youth population actually haven't gone to school.
Despite Africa's richness in natural and mineral resources, Africa's greatest asset remains her iconic and enchanting cities, people, tradition, culture, and languages. The continent is very diverse in nature, and this show seeks to shine light on this. My Heritage is a docu-series that breaks the ice by taking viewers on a tour of the African continent.
Hello, Africa and the rest of the world. This is My Heritage. I am Adesuwa Osui, your most dedicated guide on various breathtaking trips across the African continent, fused with history and culture. Today, I will be taking you to a place where you can surf and scuba dive in one day, dance the samba and funana on the second, and scale a volcano on the third, all in an environment where the mercury never falls below 25 degrees Celsius. Yes, that will be Cabo Verde, or Cape Verde as many know it.
The conversation explores the depth of social issues arising across Africa, taking an analytic lens to see through the issues, the implications, and how they affect the lives of the people.
So, what role is SASEPA playing in bringing education up to par? Because education has remained one vital area that seems to have not gotten the kind of attention it should get in terms of government, even in terms of budget. Over the years, there has been that cry by civil society and even the UN that more attention, more investment should be made in the educational sector.
Yeah, thank you very much. What we do at SASEPA is to see how we hold government accountable to their promises, to their policies, to their actions. Because from the Constitution of Nigeria, it is stated that it is fundamental for every child to acquire education, and it is the responsibility of the government to make that possible for every child. So everybody, according to the Constitution, which Nigeria drafted, says that we have the rights to education, which is a fundamental human right. And then looking at all the commitments of the federal government and to an extent the state governments in international policies, they've committed to so many international policies. The replenishment policy, the replenishment campaign with GPE, the Global Partnership for Education, the commitment to SDG 4, and other commitments, even the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. Nigeria signed it to it. So these are the things we do. So we try, we see how we hold government accountable, we hold government responsible. We keep pushing government to say, this is your promise, you have to fulfill it, you have to do it. And we do this by engaging with them, not by carrying placards. We have dialogues with government. We sit with them in their own comfort zone, and then we go to our own uncomfort zone to campaign and sensitize the general public, especially citizens, on their right to education.
Business Report Africa is your one-stop daily business magazine program that informs you with happenings in the business and trade world across Africa.
Other parts of the world sent home record amounts of money in 2020, contrary to analysts' expectations of a drop in diaspora remittances. The big jump in remittances, although unexpected, supported many Kenyan families and struggling from the effects of the pandemic. Foreign remittances climbed to a record high of $2.8 billion in the first 11 months of 2020, compared to $2.55 billion sent in the same period in 2019, a 10% jump. In April last year, World Bank predicted that the remittances to African nations such as Kenya, Nigeria, South Sudan, and Ghana will fall drastically due to a surge in unemployment rates in the US and other European nations.
All right, that's it. Again, follow us on our social media handles at TOS TV Network to watch more episodes like this. Stay safe, Keep practicing social distancing, wearing your mask, washing your hands, sanitizing as frequently as you can. The second wave of COVID-19 is more deadly than the first, so please take this seriously because your health is your wealth. I'll see you same time, same place next week, and until then, take very good care of yourself. God bless you.